What's up, my name is GLoWhNo, and today we are going to be discussing an individual considered the most mysterious character in the entire Half-Life universe. I will be briefly touching on some backstory and discuss what makes this person mysterious in the first place. So with that, I hope you enjoy the video. Let's discuss the most mysterious character in Half-Life. In Half-Life 1, you play as a person named Gordon Freeman, a physicist at Black Mesa. You're partaking in an experiment that involves you pushing a cart carrying an alien crystal into a massive beam. This experiment promptly goes wrong, however, creating a dimensional rift, opening a portal to a border world known as Zen. After passing out, you wake up to realize that your lab has been infested with aliens. Fighting your way through these creatures, you must get to their home and fight the creature keeping the rift open, known as the Neolinth. The Neolinth is an incredibly interesting creature since he has the ability to speak. One of his lines of dialogue that will be important soon being this.
You are man. He is not man. For you he waits for you.
After defeating the Neolinth, you pass out and are met with the individual he was referring to, the G-Man. He tells you how you have impressed him with your work and informs you that Zen is now under the control of him and his employers. He then offers you a job as a mercenary, which when accepted he will place you into stasis awaiting your next objective. 20 years pass after the incident of Half-Life 1 and we are now in Half-Life 2. Right out of the gate we are surrounded by darkness with the same strange man informing us that our hour has come again.
Well, let's just say your hour has come again.
Whilst he monologues, you will see flashes of different scenes in the background including Black Mesa and some areas in the Citadel. He will then say his famous line,
So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
with the darkness fading away, revealing you are on a bus on the way to City 17 to begin your next task. In Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2, the G-Man can be seen almost everywhere, watching you. As you progress, you can see the G-Man seemingly appear out of nowhere, watching you from a distance or even in plain sight, only to disappear without a trace. Even in some cases, you can see him in impossible-to-reach areas, sometimes having what looks to be portals nearby he presumably used to get there. So, who is this guy? Well, we have no idea. The only things we truly know about him lead to even more questions. For instance, the employers. He can be heard a few times referencing these individuals, though the information about these guys seem to be just as scarce as the information we have on the G-Man. Essentially, the employers are a group of unknown entities that are responsible in many ways for the big events that take place during the course of the series. In fact, they are the main reason G-Man does what he does. In Half-Life Alyx, the most recent game in the series, he tells her that his job is to nudge things in a particular direction specifically to alter fate.
They authorize me to nudge things in a particular direction from time to time.
He then promptly asks her if she has anything she would like to be nudged, which she then says that she would like the Combine to be off Earth, which he then replies that it would be too large considering the interests of his employers.
What would you want nudged, Miss Vance?
The Combine off Earth. I want the Combine off Earth.
That would be a considerably large nudge. Too large, given the interests of my employers.
Which seems to imply that he can't or would rather not do things on his own volition, and acts in a way as to not disobey his superiors. An example of such nudging can be seen even in Half-Life 1, as he is directly responsible for providing the crystal that you are tasked with pushing that prompted the malfunction. G-Man seemingly has an incredible amount of power, but these aren't the only situations you see him demonstrating it, as you can see him on many different monitors and TVs, projecting images of himself in places he knows you'll see. He can time travel, which is revealed in Half-Life Alyx when he takes her to a point in time before her father gets killed by an advisor at the end of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. G-Man can even completely stop time, which is seen at the end of Half-Life 2 when a reactor in the Citadel explodes, almost killing Gordon and Alex. But amazingly, as soon as the explosion happens, G-Man makes another appearance, freezing time, placing Gordon back into stasis, with Alex being seen safe and sound in the sequel having been rescued by the Vortigaunts. But even G-Man with his seemingly endless power has weaknesses. Since in Episode 1 of Half-Life 2, G-Man makes his one and only appearance at the beginning of the game. The opening scene shows G-Man walking into the void he left Gordon in at the end of Half-Life 2. G-Man then attempts to say something, but is cut off by the sight of the same Vortigaunts that saved Alex, seemingly appearing out of nowhere all around him. They use their powers to prevent him from interacting with Gordon, and then promptly teleport him out of the void he was trapped in. This is also the very first time we can see G-Man actively hindered from doing something. In the next game, we become aware of another time that G-Man was stopped. In Half-Life Alyx, we learn that 5 years before Half-Life 2, the G-Man was captured by the Combine in a floating prison known as the Vault. The Vault, which is powered by the energy of captive Vortigaunts to keep him contained. Alex is actively hunting down the Vault since it was said that the Combine kept a superweapon contained within it, not knowing what the superweapon truly was. Once arriving, she manages to free a Vortigaunt, gaining it as an ally to help shut down the rest of the area, freeing the rest of the Vortigaunts. Without their power, the Vault crashes, allowing her to get inside. Once inside, she soon comes face to face with the infamous G-Man, leading her to having the dialogue I previously mentioned, then being placed into stasis as well, just like Gordon was. So this is why G-Man, in my opinion, is so mysterious. Even though he plays such a vital role in the series, being involved in so many major events that happen all across the games, he has an incredibly small amount of information known about him. Although there is so little information known, it doesn't stop people from making their own theories as to who he truly is. The most popular theory at the moment is that the G-Man is a Combine advisor, but not necessarily the ones we see in-game. Half-Life writer Mark Laidlaw opened up a Twitter account that went under the name Greengrub. The tweets that were sent out told information about the Combine advisor race that had not been told through the game's story. We learned through a few tweets that the advisors are not actually willingly a part of the Combine race, rather it seems they have been corrupted. Tweets such as this one show that the advisors, also known as the Sha'ulathoi, were previously going about their own business for eons up until they were discovered by the Combine. The Combine took over the advisors, using them for their own benefit. It is also mentioned that these advisors are kept in a larval state, which means the ones you see throughout Half-Life are only babies yet to reach adulthood. It is said that upon reaching adulthood, they can choose their own physical form using their psychic ability to change shape, potentially being able to take the form of a human. What is to say that the G-Man isn't just an adult advisor, with his employees also being adult advisors? Of course, none of this has been confirmed by Valve, but it is definitely interesting to ponder since there is so little to know about G-Man. So with that information I've just given you, let me know how you feel about it. Also, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments. I wanted to keep this video as short as possible, so there might be a chance I missed something. I hope you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I hopefully see you in the next one.